Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be looking at a light from a company called ZanFlare, and this is their F1 model. And this flashlight was sent over to me for review purposes by GearBest. And once I got this in hand and I started testing it out and using it, I found that it's a very interesting flashlight, and it does have one particular feature that you don't find in a lot of lights nowadays. So this is the box that it comes in. All right, pretty nice packaging. As you open it up, right on the top, you have the flashlight itself in this little kind of foam padding. So we'll take it out and set it off to the side for now. And then as you take the little padding out, you have the rest of the accessories underneath. So the first thing is going to be your user manual. So again, I always do recommend that you kind of read through this, get familiarized with the different features and levels of lumens and stuff like that, especially if the light has a lot of different modes. And underneath that, you have some of the other accessories. The first one in the back here is this really cool wrist lanyard. So normally when you get these lanyards like this, you kind of thread them through a little loop on the flashlight, and then you can use it in your your wrist if you're walking around and you don't want the flashlight to drop. So you have this little button right here which loosens and tightens the actual gap, and then you have this little ball that does the same thing once you have it set to whatever the distance is. Now what's cool is that they added this little release here. So this is a little string that you would normally thread through the hole on the flashlight, but then you can actually pinch this to release the lanyard itself, and then this part will stay on the flashlight. Now that's cool because with some of the other wrist lanyards that I've seen, normally it's just threaded on there. So if you want to take it off, you have to completely remove the whole lanyard, and then you have to kind of feed it through again. Some of those holes tend to be a little small. So it's cool that they added that little release switch right there. You know, obviously they thought a little bit more about what it is that people would need. So besides that, the flashlight does have rechargeable capabilities. So once you insert the battery, you can actually recharge the battery right inside the flashlight via this USB cable right here. So there's a USB port on the flashlight itself, and then you connect the cable, and then you'll connect this to either a computer or a power brick or something like that, and you can recharge the battery inside of the flashlight without having to remove it. You also have a couple of spare O-rings, and then you have your pocket clip, which is kind of attached to this little foam brick here. I'll take that out because we're going to show you how that attaches to the flashlight. And then the last accessory is this little holster here. Now this is obviously completely different from the type of holsters that I'm used to seeing. Normally the holsters, they have an open top with Velcro or something. Like this one right here is kind of like a little neoprene cocoon. So you have your belt loop in the back here, and then you have a little loop on the top here as well. So if you want to attach like a carabiner and attach this to a pag or something like that with a carabiner, you can do that. Now the zipper right here is inverted, so the tracks are on the inside, so that makes it a little bit more water resistant, dust resistant, and stuff like that. And then you open it up, and then you can put the flashlight itself in there. Now the only drawback I found is that it's a little difficult to get the light in there just because of the actual dimension of the zipper here. So what I'm talking about is they made it so compact that when you try and put the light in there, you have to actually fidget around and push it. And the good thing is that it does give way because it is neoprene, but it's a little tight squeeze to get it in there. So I figured that if you have this like maybe on your belt or something like that, it's going to take at least 2 hands to get the light in there, and then also to kind of try and get the light out. So this will definitely work great if you're going to have it attached to a pack or something like that, because you can go ahead and slide it in there using both hands. But if you want to get it in and out very quickly, then this one's a little bit difficult to do that. So just wanted to point that out. So we'll set this to the side, and now we'll look at the flashlight itself. Now before we do that, let me go ahead and show you guys the pocket clip here. It is very, very sturdy. Now there is 2 positions where you can actually attach this pocket clip. So you can either do it in the back right here, so the majority of the flashlight is inside of either the pocket or a bag or wherever it is you're going to clip it to, or you can attach it to this area here, and then the head of the flashlight will actually be up. Obviously, I prefer to put it in the back here because that way it'll allow for the majority of the flashlight to actually ride inside of the pocket and out of the way. So only about this much of the light is actually sticking out. So that's the way that I've been running it. onto the flashlight itself. It is very light. The aircraft grade aluminum makes it light, but it is very, very sturdy as well. I would say it's about 6 inches long, so fits very nice in the hand. It's not an oversized flashlight by any means, so it's perfect for EDC purposes and stuff like that. I can easily see this light being a great backup flashlight, like in a bailout bag or an EDC bag or something like that, because of its size and the output and the different features that it does have. So in the front right here, you do have a smooth reflector, and it is fairly deep, which is going to give you a lot of throw on the light, which is nice. You have a mode selector switch right here on the side, and you have this little ring with some knurling on it. And basically what this is you pull it down, and then that is where your USB charger will go. So that's where you connect it, and then it charges up the battery inside. And there is actually a little LED right here on the side, which will glow red or green depending on the state of the battery, while it's charging and stuff like that. And then once you're done, you just slide it back up, and it covers it up, so that way it keeps any dirt or dust or anything like that from getting inside of it. Again, the knurling on the body is very functional. You can go ahead and have a nice grip on the light, and then you have a little bit of styling design in the back right here where you would unscrew the cap to insert the battery, and then you have your on and off tail cap switch here. Now, it is only constant on and off, so again, there's no momentary on. So in other words, if you press it halfway, it's not gonna turn on the light or anything like that. I do prefer lights to have that, but again, it's not a big deal. Now, the other thing that I was talking about, well, before I get to that, is here is the little slot where you would slide that little piece on the lanyard to attach it to the flashlight, and that's what I was talking about. If you'd have to put it on and take it off every time trying to put it through there, it's a little bit of a hassle. So the fact that they allow that little clip to remove it and still hang the other portion on there is pretty cool. So the feature that I said that you don't find on a lot of flashlights is this right here, and that is a little carbide tip, I guess you could say. It's to break glass with, but it's tiny. I don't know how well that's going to do. It's not very sharp, and it protrudes just a little bit past the body of the flashlight. But again, it is an added feature that they put on there. I would have to see how you would have to handle that, because again, if you hold it like this, or if you just kind of swing it, obviously with the battery in there, it'll give it a little bit more weight, so you have a little bit more weight behind the stroke. But for the most part, that is really cool. You don't see that in a lot of flashlights nowadays. So, all right, so the light itself actually runs off of one 18650 rechargeable battery. Unfortunately, it's not included in the package. So again, if you don't have one of those, you'll have to get one of those batteries as well. Or it'll run off of 2 CR123 batteries. Again, those are a little bit easier to come by. So if you have those, you can also run it off. So again, 2 of those or one 18650. So let me go ahead and throw a battery in here, and we'll take a look at the different modes and output of the light itself. All right, now once the clip is attached, it actually does come off with the tail cap there. I'll go ahead and throw the 18650 battery in there, and we'll replace the tail cap. All right, so this light does have quite a few different modes. Again, you activate the light on the back here, so you turn it on and off by clicking that switch. So clicking it on, let me turn off this overhead light so we can see it a little better. Clicking it on will come on, and then click it off, it'll turn off. Again, that'll always be on and off, on and off. So as you turn it on, this first mode that we have here is moonlight mode, and that is 1 lumen, which is going to be good for 550 hours. And from there, you're going to use your side mode selector switch here. Press it, and it's going to ramp it up to its low mode, and that's 50 lumens. From there, and that's good for 22 hours, sorry. From there, you go ahead and press it again, and that's going to go to medium, which is going to be 290 lumens. That's going to be good for 6 hours. And then press it one more time, and that's going to go to high, which is 590 lumens, good for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So 590 lumens for 2 hours and 30 minutes. That is the high output on this light. And then if you press it again, it'll go back down to moonlight. So again, you have 4 really useful modes on here. Moonlight is great if you want to conserve your night vision. If you want to prolong the life of the battery on the flashlight, this is an awesome mode to have. Low 50 lumens is great to look around, you know, find your keys in the dark and things like that. Medium 290 lumens is perfect for any EDC tasks. Or if you need a lot more light and to throw it a lot further, then the high for 590 lumens will definitely do that job, and you'll be able to see everything way out there. Again, the smooth reflector definitely throws that light out there, and you know, it makes it easier to see a lot of things in the dark. So besides those 4 modes, you do have a couple different modes. So this flashlight is called is the F1 from ZanFlare, and basically they have another mode that is called their flare mode. And flare mode is accessed when from any mode is on. So if you have moonlight, low, medium, or high, let's go to moonlight. If you double click the side switch, it'll actually go to their flare mode, and that's 1,240 lumens, and it's good for 30 seconds. So this is basically if you need a lot of light for just a little amount of time to light up a whole area or something like that, signal something or whatnot, you know, this is going to be it. Again, 1,240 lumens, and it's good for 30 seconds. And then if you want to go ahead and return back to your normal mode, you just click it again and it'll go back to whatever mode you were originally in. Now this flashlight does have memory, so if you have it on and then turn it off, it will come on in whatever mode you were last using. So I was using moonlight, so if I go ahead and turn it back on, it'll come back on in moonlight. I'll ramp it up to high, and then if I turn it off, once I turn it back on, it will turn back on high. So again, really useful if you like using a particular mode and you want your flashlight to always come in on that mode, then that's perfect. So besides the 4 regular modes and then your flare mode, this also has 2 more modes, and that's SOS and strobe. So from the light being on, again, in any particular output, if you press and hold the side switch for 2 seconds, it'll go into strobe, and it is a very disorienting strobe. I should have said strobe warning, sorry about that. And then from there, if you go ahead and press it again, it'll go into SOS. So as you guys can see, it is signaling the SOS there. And again, from there, if you just press and hold for another 2 seconds, it'll go back to whatever the mode that you last were in. So I was on high, so I went back to high. Again, I can, you know, cycle through the different modes again, back to moonlight, and then turn it off. So let me turn this overhead light back on. So there it is. That is the different modes that the ZanFlare F1 has. Again, as you guys can tell, this is a great EDC flashlight. It's great for a bailout bag, a bug out bag. I foresee that being its best usage. Even though you can carry this as a regular EDC flashlight, I can easily see this as my go-to light in case of an emergency. You know, so I will have this like maybe strapped to a bailout bag or an EDC bag or something like that, bug out bag. This will be perfect, you know, to have in the car. You know, maybe you have a car bag or something like that. This particular light is great for that. And again, the ability to go ahead and recharge the battery while it's still in the flashlight via that USB cable is great. So perfect scenario would be having this light with maybe like a battery bank, and then its charger, you know, the charger for the battery bank and the charger for the flashlight as a kit, and then you're basically set. So if the battery does die out, you can go ahead and recharge it on the spot, and you're good to go. The capability of jumping from 590 lumens to 1,240 lumens, even though it's only for 30 seconds, is great. Again, if you need it to signal, or if you need a lot of light but only for a little bit amount of time, then that is perfect. And that's, I think, where this particular flashlight definitely does shine. So there it is. That is the F1 model from ZanFlare. I'll go ahead and leave a link below if you guys are interested in purchasing one of these. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.